ओम ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाले नमो नमः। वेद वेदांत वेदांग विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणी निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। 34th श्लोक पेज नंबर 118। नात्मभावेन नानेदं न स्वेनापि कथञ्चन न पृथङ् न पृथङ् किञ्चित् इति तत्त्वविदो विदुः। नात्मभावेन नानेदं न स्वेनापि कथञ्चन न पृथक् न पृथक् किञ्चित् इति तत्त्वविदो विदुः इति तत्त्वविदो विदुः। कल हमने इस श्लोक को देखा था। Yesterday we saw this श्लोक. It was saying that Atma is mukta from all the prapanch. So no duality, there is no expansion. How this is false. So how the duality which is seen, but it is seen and we are getting affected also. So four reasons why duality cannot be there. It was given in 34th Shlok. Why? The duality is not possible. How it is not possible? So first quarter said, na atma bhavena, nana idam, the various things, the various duality is not present. Why? By identification with the self. By the identification with the self, na atma bhavena, it is not present. Then is it present by swenapi kathanchana? No, na swenapi kathanchana. It is not there independently also. Is not there. So whatever is seen is not there independently also, and neither it is by the identification of the Atma. So then how does it exist? It is taking some identification from somewhere else. It's saying no, na prithak, na aprithak, kinchit. Neither they are mutually different. Na prithak, they are not mutually different also, and neither they are one also. Tattva iti tattva vido viduhu. This is the tattvavid. This is the wisdom of that tattvavid. Tattvavid knows it like that. So 4 points were given in this. Duality is not identification with the self. Duality is not independent. Duality is not mutually different, or duality is not completely different also, or one also with that Atma. So in this way, this duality is not there actually. Because in 33rd Shlok, if you remember, it was said that everything is kalpitaha. Bhavai asadhi ev ayam advaina cha kalpitaha. So everything is kalpit here. The Atma is the asad bhav is being kalpit, and the Atma, everything, all the bhavas on that Atma are kalpit. And the padarth that are seen is also kalpit. We have to remember this quarter in the 33rd, the fourth quarter in the 33rd Shlok is important because it will be seen in this Shlok. My Bhagwan Bhashikar saying Tasmat Advaita Shiva. This is the Advaita is Shiva, auspiciousness. So Advaita is Shiva and Dvaita, that means duality, is a Shiva, is inauspicious. So how that is, we have to see now. So yesterday we went through the Bhashyam, half of it we saw. Actually, we have to go to the Anand Giriji first, and we saw Anand Giriji yesterday on page 118. So kimcha kimidam nana bhutam dvaitam atad dadatmyam va siddhyati swatantrena va iti vivektavyam. Page 118, second paragraph, Anand Giriji. Kim cha kimidam nana bhutam na adya ityaha. The first one is not possible. We saw the first one is not possible. ये देख लिया था ना. It is not possible. So idam hi nana bhutam dvaitam na atma tadatmena seddhum arhati. So pratigya is what? This duality is not possible. This duality which has got identified with the Atma, this is not possible. We cannot prove this. That this Atma may be, like somebody may think that this Atma, this duality is because of the identification. But how can identification be possible? Identification happens with two things. It is not there. So there has to be two things, but it is not there. So how can identification take place? So jad ajadayoho viruddha swabhavyoho tadatmya ayogat. And hetu is given. How can jad and chetan identify? One is completely jad. The duality that is seen, that is completely jad. Jad chetan granthi padi jai. रामचरितमानस says, जड़ चेतन ग्रंथि पड़ी जाई, यद्यपि मृषा छूटत कठिनाई. It is mrisha, it is not real, but still as if it has become into one single knot that is not there. The knot that is not there. So here also Virud, because why it is not there? Because They are both of different swabhav. Light and darkness, they cannot exist together. Poison and nectar cannot together exist together. Similarly, this also, day and night cannot exist together. So this also, Jad and Chetan, it cannot exist together. That's what he is saying. Vedati shunya atma tadatme cha dvaitasya nanatva asiddhe ityatah. Atma which does not have any three Vedas. Three Ved are not there in Atma. Which three Ved? Swadat Ved, Sajatiya Ved, Vijatiya Ved, all are not there in that Atma. And that is why Dvaitasya Nanatva Asiddhe Ityata. How can it identify with which does not have any Bhed? For identification, it has to have Bhed in that. That is why Akash does not have any Bhed. That is why here it is saying that the Karan of that Akash, how can it have any Bhed? And how can it identify? So it is not due to any identification that we are seeing this duality. He is refuting all the reasons why we can make this duality real. This duality is not real at all. So again and again we have to reiterate in our mind these 4 points again and again whenever this troubles us, whenever we feel this duality as real, we have to question ourselves from which point of view do you feel that this duality is real? From which point of view? Tell me. And then your mind will, when we start reflecting on it, when we start negating it, our mind becomes quiet. This is the only way. Otherwise, there is no way out. So that is why here the first quarter is saying that it is not due to any identification with the Atma that the duality is seen, because there cannot be any identification, because it does not have any bhed. And second reason is Jad and Chetan. They are completely different. They cannot be identified. Next, Dvitiyam Dushayati. Dvitiyam Dushayati. This in the second quarter also there is fault. There is fault. There is a fault in the second quarter also. So Dvitiyam Dushayati. In the second quarter also there is a fault. Swain. What is the second quarter saying? Na Swain api kathanchana. By independently seeing also it is not there. By itself also it is not present. By itself also it is not present. Swaina means by itself. Satta, this also we had seen yesterday. Satta pratityoho anyan apekshata lakshana swatantrena api na idam dvaitam seddho parayati. It is saying that anything has got what? Two things, Satta and Pratiti. Like in Digdrishya Vivek, we have seen Satta. It has got Asti, Bhati, Priyam. Three things. Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Rupam, Nama, Chaitanya, Panchakam. So the three are Adyatrayam, Brahma Rupam. Adyatrayam, the first three are of Brahma Swarup, and Jagat Rupam Tatodvayam. Nam and Rup are of the Jagat. Remember this Shlok. We have to remember this Shlok from Digdrishya Vivek. Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Rupam, Nam, Chaitanya, Panchakam. Adyatraya, Brahma Rupam. And Jagat, the next two are Jagat Rupam, Nama and Rup. Adyatrayam, Jagat Rupam. Adyatrayam, Brahma Rupam, Jagat Rupam, Tatodvayam. So in this also, here it is saying that Satta and Pratiti, these are of that dual thing, of that Atma. It is taking, it is, if it is, it has existence, it is there, isness is there. So the existence is being taken from that Atma only. Satta, what is being said here is Satta. And Pratiti means Bhati. Asti Bhati. So that Bhati means it has got the power to make itself known. If it has got the power to make itself known, But we know that the Jad cannot have this power. If we are looking at the Jad things also and we are able to know those Jad things also, that means what? Simple. That means it has borrowed this power from somewhere. It cannot be its own power. It has borrowed. So from where it will borrow? Other than itself is what? Chetan only. So other than Jad is Chetan, so that Atma, from that Atma, it has borrowed. We have to think like that. The one thing that we master in Vedanta is the thinking procedure. How to think. Actually, in school, in the education system, this is not taught to us that how we should think, how we should move forward in thinking, or how we should prove some postulate, how to prove it. Like we prove the Pratigya Vakya, how to think about it. In common parlance, also sometimes who are very logical people, who want to who talk properly or who have a very a promising character or speaking or personality like that, they you can look at them and you can look at their personality. It is vivid personality. You can tell them how this whole thinking procedure is aligned completely. It is not wavering. So this we have to practice and bring it in our nature. I have heard from some saint from our mission swamis only that when Gurudev used to write, at that time there was no typing system or laptop or mobile, this mobile or computer was not there. So this was not prevalent. So they used to write a lot. So in a day, Gurudev used to write hundreds of letters because that was the only way to communicate to the people around. And that is why we have so much of text right now that we can know about his thought procedure and everything. So never he used to scribble or never he used to rewrite or never he used to cut some line and rewrite it again, overwriting. That was not there. His thought was so continuously flowing, the flow plus the maturity plus the ekatanata, the continuity, everything was flawless. This is what helps. I mean, Vedanta helps in this. We know how to think properly, how to come to some conclusion, how to prove the point that we have started. Otherwise, sometimes we start speaking even in classes or even in group discussions, this happens. We had started with one pratikya and we concluded in some other pratikya. We went haphazard, some here and there, we went to some other topic. That comes up, that crops up. Then again, we have to bring it. Acha, acha, acha. We were not discussing on this topic. Let us take this topic later on. First, we have to conclude the topic that we have started. Similarly, here also, we should know how to think because we have already completed many texts. So we should not forget them. So we should again and again bring those shlokas, bring back those ideas, the principles that have been taught to us, and we should think. And how is it saying? What is the thing that is being proven here? What is the point? That the duality is not there. 4 points have been said. That it is not through the identification with the Atma that this duality, because we have studied now. So we know that there is a difference between Jada and Chetan, and everything here is that Chetan only. But now we should not feel, or our mind should not feel that this is real because of an identification with the self. No, it cannot get identified. Second point that we are proving now is it is not that it has got its own identification or it is independent in its existence. No, it's not possible. And here Anand Giriji is bringing out 2 points. He is saying satta and pratiti. Every object has got some satta. Isness is there. The existence is there in that. And every object has also got pratiti. It has the power to make itself known. So when we are able to know it, that is not due to the power of that object only, because it is inert. We know the definition of inert is it cannot know itself, neither it can know others, neither it has the capacity to make itself known. That means if we are knowing any object, It is from some other object that it is taking. And from other object other than Jad is Chetan. So that is why it is taking from there only. So one does, this object does not have existence, neither it has any consciousness. Everything has been borrowed. Everything has been borrowed. So this duality is, it is not there, because if the duality was real, it was independent and it's existed, it will never go. It will always be there. Even during our deep sleep also, we will hold on to some object that is real. Because it is unreal, we drop everything and then we go into deep sleep. Otherwise, deep sleep won't be possible. Deep sleep is possible only because we leave everything. So in this way, it is said here that Svena Satta Pratityoho Anyan Apekshata Lakshana Swatantrena Api Na Idam Tvaitam Sedhu Parayati. It is not possible. Tatha Swatantre Satyatmatva Prasangat Anatmano Advaitatvat Apatadityatha. So therefore, it is not that it is Swatantra also. It is not that it is existing on its own. So no object is known independently, but as it is superimposed. Superimposed where? It is superimposed on Atma only. So it takes the Astitva and Bhatitva from that Atma only. Astitva Bhatitva means what? Satta and Chitta. The Satta and Chitta. Jad cannot exist by its own. Okay, so this is the second point, the second phrase, quarter. Now the third quarter, let's come to the third quarter. What is it saying? Na prithak na aprithak kinchit iti tattva vido viduhu. Kim cha kimidam dvaitam anyonyam prithak prithak va iti vivektavyam, page 119. Page 119. Anand Giriji, first line. I hope you got it. First line, Anand Giriji, 119 page. Kim cha kimidam dvaitam anyonyam prithak. Mila? Kim kimidam dvaitam anyonyam prithak aprithak va iti vivektavyam na adya ityahah. Sorry, not ahah. So it is saying here again that again the third quarter, that is telling us that is it mutually different or mutually same one. So it is saying that it is not the adya, it is not mutually different also. It is not mutually, it is not, the dvaita is different than each other among, this is not there. Prithag, aprithagva iti, amongst each other, or same. Is it different or is it same? Na adya ityahah. Na adya means what? The first, the option that was given, that is na prithak. It is not mutually different. It is not there. It is not correct. Nahi, next, nahi kinchit api dvaitam parasparam prithak eva siddhyati. Every object cannot be seen as totally different. It cannot be seen as totally different. Nahi kinchit api dvaitam parasparam prithak eva siddhyati. पृथक्त्वस्य धर्मी प्रतियोगी रूपावच्छिन्नत्वेन अन्योन्याश्रयत्वात् धर्मत्व स्वरूपत्व यो दुर्वचनत्वात् इत्यर्थः. So here it is saying that there is something called dharma and there is something called dharmi. Dharmi pratiyogi rupavachinnatvena. What happens? There is something called, everything has something called dharma and something called dharmi. Like Prithvi. Prithvi, and Prithvi's guna is what? Prithvi's guna is Gandhavati Prithvi. Gandha. So Prithvi is dharmi and Gandha is dharma. Can we separate dharma and dharmi? No, we cannot separate. So it is taking this point. So he's saying here that we cannot completely differentiate between the things, that completely it is different from others. Somewhere or other, they are connected. So mutually, they are not different, neither mutually different. We are proving this point. Remember what point we are proving. Otherwise, again, we will go from one point to another point. So the third quarter says it is not mutually different also. So here Anand Giriji is saying, because we have seen in the world that everything is mutually dependent in the form of dharma and dharmic. And what is it? Anyonya ashrayatvat. Okay, the next word is Anyonya ashrayatvat. They are all dependent, mutually dependent. Dharma is dependent on the dharmi. When we say red horse, you cannot separate the redness and the horse. They are all the adjective and the noun. They have to be together. So dharma and dharmi, they have to be together. So mutually they are dependent on each other. So that is why we cannot differentiate. So here it is saying dharma pratiyogi. Pratiyogi. Pratiyogi means existing with something. So dharmi pratiyogi rupa avacchinnatvat. So everything is existing with something else. It is not completely different. Anything you see in this world that has got some characteristics now. So that characteristic cannot be separated, he's saying. It cannot be separated from that thing. Dharma and dharmi. And what are they? They are mutually dependent on each other. Anyonyashrayatvat dharmatva sarupatvayoho durvachanatvat ityartha. So it cannot exist separately. This is the third quarter that we have put. So, na api kinchit anyonyam aprathak bhutva siddhyati. So you can't make them one also. This is the last quarter. Actually, not the last quarter, the last portion in the third quarter. Na prathak, na aprathak kinchit. It is not aprathak kinchit also. So if you say that they are not mutually different, means what? They are one. So he is saying it is not one also. So no, why not one? You cannot jumble up all the things, and you cannot say that this is take these things from there. Like you cannot make the ghat also one, pat also one, book also one, pen also one. All these things are separate. So he is saying that you cannot make all those things one also. They are separate also. So na api kinchit anyonyam aprathak bhutva siddhyati. These are very simple points actually. We have to just remember the crux, the essence of it, what they are trying to tell us, describe. So he is saying that you cannot make it one, you cannot separate it, neither it is existing on its own, neither it is existing due to the identification with the Atma. Actually, it is negating all the reasons how it can be true. What? This duality. The duality, how is it not possible? How the duality is false? But we have seen, for us, everything is real in this world. So that is why again and again he is trying to tell us the reasons why this duality, though it is seen, it cannot be true. Many things are seen in this world. That does not mean that it is true. Many things we see in this world. We see that the earth is moving, earth is stable and the sun is moving. We see the blueness of the sky. Many things we see like that, but it is not right, isn't it? Earth is moving in such a fast speed, but we feel that it is stable. Such a fast speed it is moving. Many things are there. We find Earth flat, but it is not flat. So here also, these things, if we try to again and again, yeah, try to bring these things and think about it, then we will someday, when we sit on the seat of meditation, these thoughts will help us glide into samadhi. Because at present, these thoughts are not very firm in our mind. These principles are not very established in our mind. That is why the moment I start thinking, the sansar, the duality comes in my mind. The gateway is open. These are the ways to close the gate. Only when there is dukha vritti, there is asakti buddhi, then the gate is closed. Until and unless we think about the dukh that we will be getting from this world, or the asakti buddhi that this is not real, we will continue to take and enjoy the world from outside. Problem is not outside. Problem is that we only are getting affected inside. Outside is not any problem. Outside we can be there in a lot of uh, luxuries and lot of money and with lot of people, with the best of situations we can be. But in my mind, how is the situation? I have seen people in best of situations where their mind is the worst mind. They are full of complaints. They don't like the situation. But it is the same, like you remember the story of Yudhishthira and Duryodhan. Duryodhan was asked by Dronacharya to go get a good person from the nearby village. So he went. He started going. From morning till evening, he didn't return. So Dronacharya asked, what happened? I don't know what happened. He hasn't returned yet. So in the evening, he came back and he said that, Gurudev, I did not get any person. And nobody is good in this world. And he did, in that gram also, in that village also, I did not find anybody good. He said, Acha, is this the case? Okay, Yudhishthir, go try and bring some bad person. He's saying that there's nobody good there. And he also went and he also tried to find out. But he also came returned in the evening. And then he told Gurudev that I could not find a single bad person. So it all depends on the notion that we are building up inside our mind. So these are the notion correctors. These principles are actually hammering our notions that how we should be. So when our notions are correct, then what happens is the world that is unreal actually is seen as unreal. If our notion is not right, then the unreal will be seen as real. Because who is making that real? My mind is only making it real. So it is better that we keep on correcting these notions and we make our lives beautiful. Only through that only our life will become beautiful. Shivam. See here, Shivam word is used by Karikata. Advayam Shiva. And Dvayam is Ashiva in the 33rd Shlok. Tasmad Advaita Shiva. You have to remember this phrase. Tasmad Advaita Shiva. And Dvaita is Ashiva. Okay. So here also it is saying that it is not possible through any option that you make the world real. It's not possible. From any angle you try to prove the reality of the world and you cannot prove it. Cannot prove it. But still it is so real for us. It is so real that it is the cause of our next births also. It has become so real. But once we start hammering, brick after brick starts falling down, and slowly and steadily when we go ahead, the next birth, all the fruits of action, they all get diffused, they all get dissolved in this knowledge. So we have to try for that situation. Now let us come to the Bhashyam. We have seen Anand Giriji. So this Bhashyam will be very, very easy for us. Let us see on page 119. Kutascha Advaita Shiva. This is, did you get it? Kutascha Advaita Shiva, the Bhashyam on page 119. Hmm. Kutascha Advaita Shiva. From where from is this non-duality? Kutascha Advaita Shiva. Advaita means this non-duality. And Shiva is auspiciousness. How is it auspicious? How is this Advaita, the non-duality, auspicious? Hmm. Nana Bhutam, this we have to underline. Nana Bhutam Pruthaktvam Anyasya Anyasmad Yatra Drishtam Tatra Ashivam Bhavet. This is very, very important line for us seekers. Very well. What is it saying? That Nana Bhutam Pruthaktvam. If our vision is continuously marking different things, if it is in its vision, there is nanatva, differentiation of many objects. If we are differentiating from from the other. Prithatvam anyasya anyasmat yatra drishtam. One is different from the other. Tatra ashivam bhavet. That is an inauspiciousness. Inauspicious means, in nutshell, inauspiciousness is what? Seeing manyness. Seeing manyness. That I am different than you, this object is different than that. So wherever we have a sense of differentiation, there is inauspiciousness. Inauspiciousness means what? Then mind won't be at peace. There we won't be available for us, for ourselves, because mind will be always occupied in the wrong things. One thing is that the wrong or the unreal things have a capacity to engage us more than the real. Don't you feel? Again, the unreal things have more capacity to engage us than the real thing. It has that capacity. And that is why we are unnecessarily into things that we should not be engaged in. Actually, what is more important, that we have sidetracked, sidelined. And what is not important at all, that has become the driver of our life. And that is why we get trouble. And it has continuously occupied us from morning till evening. What is important? Our ahankarta, our ahankar. And that is not real. And that only is making us dance to its tunes. Continuously it is making us dance. So that is why here it is said that Nana Bhutam Prithaktvam. So what is the Pratigya Vakya here? Pratigya Vakya will be Yatra Yatra Anyasya Anyasma Drishtam Tatra Tatra Ashivam Bhavet. This is the Pratigya Vakya they are taking. This is the postulate or the principle that has to be proved. And if we see all the great values, all the subtle values, the values, they are all based on oneness only. Forgiveness. Why do we forgive? Because we do not see bhed buddhi in that person and myself. I can forgive only when I see myself also as the culprit. I say, okay, he has done this fault. I also have done many times. Or I see, no, he's mine only. Or we can say this was by mistake. I could have also done if I was in his place. So this is seeing oneness. Where do we love? Where our minds get merged? Oneness again. There only prem increases, love increases. Otherwise, where there's sense of differentiation, we can't love. So all these big qualities, the values, everything, all these principles are based on non-rejection of anybody. Principle of non-rejection of the self in you is called loving a person. And I'm not rejecting anybody, non-rejection. I'm accepting everybody. I have made my heart so big that it can accommodate the whole world in it. That's what is our tagline, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That in that kutumba, in that family, not only the Chetan, but even the Jad is included. Everything is included. That is my kutumba. So because I don't like you, I will reject you. This is inauspiciousness. I don't like you because your notions and my notions clash, and that is why what happens? Dvesh will start. I start disliking you. This is what seeing differentiation. So, because I should always think that I have accepted myself unconditionally. I have accepted there is no problem in accepting myself. Then how is it possible? How can I not accept others? The same thing, the same mistake that somebody else has made, I can also make. And maybe I have made also. I many times I feel that there are people around me also, there are people that they get disgusted or they get irritated by a little bit of dirt or little bit of uh, foul smell. But I imagine how much body odor or how much dirt our body takes out every time. I don't feel bad when I touch my dirt. Why should I feel bad when I touch others' dirt? That foul smell that is emanating from others can be from myself also. It's not that I'm very, very pure, this body is very, very pure, but how much acceptance I have for this body. That acceptance I do not have for others' bodies. I can touch my dirt, but I cannot touch others' dirt. It is very difficult to serve. So even when we are serving also, I have seen so many couples, they are serving their elderly, bedridden parents. And when we are serving, we have to do everything there. Everything has to be done. So one can serve only with this bhav of auspiciousness when we are not seeing different sense of differentiation is not there. For others' dirt, I have a lot of abhorrence. So that is why this line is very important and I like this line a lot. Nana bhutam prithakvam anyasya anyasmad yatra drishtam tatra ashivam bhavet. All the inauspicious in this world is only due to the sense of differentiation, the vision of differentiation. I am seeing you as different, I myself as different. न हि अत्र अद्वये परमार्थ सत्यात्मनि प्राणादि संसार जातमिदं जगतात्म भावेन परमार्थ स्वरूपेण निरूप्यमाणं नाना वस्तु अंतर्भूतं भवति न हि अत्र अद्वये अद्वये means that non-dual self. What is it? Paramartha satyatmani, that is the which is absolute. In that which is absolute, what is it saying? In that which is absolute, pranadi sansara jatamidam, pranadi, uh, all those 34 notions that are on the atma, pran, etc. Remember all those things from 19th to 29th, all those. So pranadi, which is which is which is a part of that jagat only, jagat idam. Jagat atma bhavena, from the angle of atma bhav, jagat atma bhavena means what? Jagat atma bhavena means atma tadatmena, identified with the self. This is itam bhavetitya. From the angle, this is Jagat Atma Bhavena. It is not with the Atma. It is the from the angle of the Jagat angle, from the angle of Jagat. Absolute, it is existence, is not proved. Paramartha Swarupena Nirupimanam Nanatvantara Bhutam Na Bhavati. Now we have to bring it down. Na Bhavati. We cannot prove it. We cannot prove it from the angle of Jagat. If you see, it is not able, we can't prove it. We cannot prove it. Because why? Because Jad, we have seen so many in the Anandgiriji, we saw. This is what this is proving the first quarter. Again, we are going back. I hope you are able to catch the flow. Anandgiriji, we saw all the 4 quarters. Now again, we have come to Bhashya. Again, we are seeing all the 4 quarters. So now we are in the first quarter, which is saying that Nana Atma Bhavena na idam, Nana idam. So it cannot be identification with the self. Why? We saw Jada and Chetan, they cannot mix together. This was the first thing. And second was what? Bheda Shunyatva. So there cannot be any bhed. The Swagat, Swajati and Vijati bhed are not there. Okay, we just now saw. So those 2 points only we have to bring it here, and that is why what is it saying, that it cannot be identified with the self. So Nana Vastu Antarbhuta. Now the Atma has become Jagat. Atma as if have become Jagat. This is not proved at all. Its existence is not proved by the identification with the self. Not proved. Now next. Yatha Rajju Swarupena Prakashena Nirupyamana Na Nana Bhuta Kalpitaha Sarpo Asti Tadvat. By illumination of that rope, Yatha Rajju Swarupena Prakashena, when once the rope is illumined, we know the rope has been illumined. Yatha Rajju Swarena Prakashena Nirupyamana, and I know that this is a rope, this is not a snake. Na Nana Bhuta Kalpita Sarposti Tadvat. Now the other kalpit things on it, the imaginary things on it, whatever we were thinking, the streak, the garland, etc., it is not there now. So here also, once we know the rope, the imaginary things are gone. Tadvat, similarly, na api svena pranadya atmana idam vidyate kadachit api rajju sarpavat kalpitatva deva. So Tadvat, similarly, is saying that with the identification of the self also, it is not possible. Once you know that the Jagat is different, once you know that the Chetan is different, Atma is different, and they cannot combine, so there cannot be any identification. Now he is saying this is the second quarter. Na api swena, not even by its own also, by itself also. Pranadi Atmana idam vidyate. All the Pranadi Atmana, all the 34 that we saw, that also na vidyate, na idam vidyate. They are also not there because they are not known by itself. Vidyate kadachit api Rajju Sarpavat Kalpitatva Deva. What Hetu has been given here? Kalpitatva. It is all imagined. All the things are imagined. So therefore, it is not proved that it is on its own also. Tatha Anyonyam na prathak pranadi vastu. They are not different also from each other. Vastu. Yatha Ashwan Mahishaha prathak vidyateva. Like Ashwan, horse, and Mahish. Mahish means the buffalo. Like the horse and buffalo are two different things. Like that, we cannot separate these also. Na prathak vastutvat eva ataha asatvat na aprathak vidyate anyonyam parena va kinchiditi. So therefore, as they are asat, ataha asatvat, therefore, because they are asat, they don't exist with each other also because they are asat. That is why they cannot exist together also with respect to each other. Vidyate anyonyam parena va kinchiditi evam parmartha tattvavidha brahmanaha viduhu. So parmartha tattvavidha, one who knows the self, he knows all this. He knows all this. The wise person, Brahmanaha, Tattvavidaha, one who knows the Tattva, he knows this, that this whole world is false. It cannot be proved By the identification of the self, it cannot be proved on its own. Neither they are mutually different nor mutually exclusive. They are not like that. So that is why this world is not there. अतः अशिव हेतुत्वात् अशिव हेतुत्व अभावात् अद्वयत्वैव शिव शिवेति अभिप्रायः. Therefore, because this is ashiva hetutvat, because the inauspiciousness is not there in this, therefore there is absence of inauspiciousness. Bhavat advaita eva, and it is advay, it is only one. Therefore, Shiva iti abhiprayah. Therefore, it is full of auspiciousness only. No, no, no. It is auspiciousness only. It is not full of auspiciousness, because auspiciousness will become different than itself. So therefore, Shiva iti abhiprayah, or bhed is possible only in duality. There is no bhed in that. Who knows this? This is known by the Tattvavid. The Tattvavid knows all this. So here, this we have ended it. So we should know that Dvait is false. Why is Dvait false? Dvait is false because it is Drishyatva, first and foremost. Then it has got Praga Bhav and Pradvansa Bhav. Then it is like Swapnavat also. It is seen, Drishya, Swapnavat, it has got Pragava, Pradvansava. With all these things, we should continuously think again and again that this world that seems so real is not real actually. It is false only. It is not real. We should continuously think about that. It needs something, because it needs something. Anything false will need something else to prove it. And in this world also we need something else to prove it. So duality is not proved. What we see as different in the world is all false. Only two things, whatever we are seeing is all false. Okay. So from here, 35, 36, 37, 38. Next four shlokas are what? Next four shlokas are describing a Mahatma who is established in this knowledge. 35, 36, 37, 38. Let us read the 35th shlok. वीतरागभयक्रोधैः मुनिभिर्वेदपारगैः निर्विकल्पो ह्यहं दृष्टः प्रपञ्चोपशमोद्वयः वीतरागभयक्रोधैः मुनिभिर्वेदपारगैः निर्विकल्पो ह्यहं दृष्टः प्रपञ्चोपशमोद्वयः. Next also we'll read. तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं अद्वैते योज्यते स्मृतिम् अद्वैतं समनुप्राप्य जडवन् लोकमाचरेत्. तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं अद्वैते योजयेत् स्मृतिम् अद्वैतं समनुप्राप्य जडवत् लोकमाचरेत्. Okay. Now, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodaihi Munibhi Veda Paragaihi. Now, this Muni, who this is talking about the person who has known this, Tattva Vida Vidu. You have to connect it with the last shlok, 34th shlok. So, he is, how is he? Vita Raga Bhaya Krodaihi Munibhihi. By, it is known by Munibhihi, by that Muni, Tritiya. By that Muni who is Vita Raga Bhaya Krodaihi. Who raga, how do we, this is samas. How do we break this samas? Ragascha, bhayascha, krodhascha, vigatah, yasmat, vitarag, vigatah, उसमें से चला गया, it is not there. Who are ved paragayi, this is another adjective, ved paragayi, who know the ved. So this one is vairanga sadhana, vitaraga bhaya krodhayi, and this one is antaranga sadhana, who is Ved Paragayi. And what? Nirvikalpaha, he ayam drishtaha. Nirvikalpa is the name of that Atma. He ayam drishtaha prapanchopa shamodvayaha. And he sees that without any prapancha. Advayaha. That is Advayaha, that is Nirvikalpaha. He sees that. Who? This Muni. How is he? This Muni is Ved Paragayi and Vitaraga Bhayakrodaihi Muni. Okay, so this is the meaning. Now, we will come to the Bhashya. Tad etat, 120 page, last line Bhashyam. Tad etat. Tad etat samyak darshanam stuyate. वीतराग भय द्वेष क्रोधादि सर्वदोषैः सर्वदा मुनिभिः मननशीलैः विवेकिभिः वेदपारगैः अवगत वेदार्थ तत्वज्ञानी ज्ञानिभिः निर्विकल्पः सर्वविकल्प शून्यो अयम् आत्मा दृष्ट उपलब्धो वेदांतार्थ तत्परैः प्रपंचोपशमः प्रपंचो द्वैत भेद विस्तारः तस्योपशमो अभावो यस्मिन् स आत्मा प्रपंचोपशमः अत एव अद्वयः. Okay, so here it is saying, first let us see the first word. Vigata raga bhaya dvesha krodhadi sarva doshaihi. He is this is the name of that muni, name of that person who is Vigat Rag, who has who is not, he is devoid of rag, bhaya, dvesh, krodha, etc. So from the mool, if you see, Bhagwan Bhashyakar has taken rag, bhaya and krodha. He has all added dvesh also, and he has added adi also down. So all these dosh are absent in him. Sarva doshaihi, sarvada. All these dosh are absent forever. Sarvada, comma. Munibhihi. Who is munibhihi? Munibhihi is manana shilaihi. One who are reflecting. Manana shilai means those who are reflecting. Viveki bhihi. One who is discriminator of satya and asatya, nitya and anitya. Continuously he is doing vivek. He is Vivekibhihi, Veda Paragaihi. He is also Veda Paragaihi means he is also established in the Veda also. Avagata Vedartha Tattvaihi, Tattvajnanibihi. And one who knows the meaning of the Vedas also. What is the meaning of the Vedas? Nirvikalpaha. That Atma, that is Nirvikalpaha. He knows about that. What is that? Sarva Vikalpa Shunya. Nirvikalpa means what? There is no triputi in that. Remember? Nirvikalpa means there is no vikalpa, means there is no vritti, there is no triputi, gyan, yani, gyata, geya. Bhed is not there. Like we are in the deep sleep state. Vikalpa Shunya, Ayam Atma Drishta Uplabdha. He has continuously, he knows this Atma only. All the 34 things, all karta, bhukta, sukhi, dukhi, everything is gone. No appearances like that. Uplabdha Vedanta Vedantartha Tatparaihi. Full stop. There we have to make a full stop. So he knows the meaning or the essence of that Vedanta also. Okay. Now please come to page number 120 only, Anand Giriji. Anand second paragraph. In the second paragraph, you come to third line. Adi Padena. Did you get? Adi Padena. Second paragraph, third line. Adi Padena Samyak Darshana Pratibandhakaha Sarve Dosha Sangahyate. So he is saying, Anand Giriji is saying that from the top, Vigata Raga Bhaya Dvesha Krodha Adi. When it is saying Adi, so Adi means all. Adi Padena Samyak Darshana Pratibandhaka. Mad, Matsarya, Rag, Dvesh, you have to take everything. All the negative vrittis that trouble a person. All those things. Samyak darshan pratibandhaka sarve doshaha sangrihyanti. You collect all those things in this. So this person does not have any of these. This person who is a jnani, tattvadarshi, he does not have any of this dosh. Okay. So ragadi vimoko yada kadachit anadhikarinamapi sambhavati sambhavati ataha vishinashti. So without this rag, without anything, rag vimoko yada kadachit anadhikarinapi. Anadhikari also can leave this rag, etc. because sambhavati ataha vishinashti. So this is elaborately says this, elaborating. It is elaborating that if a person is without rag and all, even though he is anadhikari, but still he can have this jnana. Okay, if he does not have all these things, he has made his mind pure, then automatically he becomes adhikari for the jnana. Sada ragadi vyavritta vivekam hetu prapanchayati. Rag, etc. always obstruct Prito Vivekam Hetum Prancha, obstruct my Vivek. And that is why I cannot discriminate. So for this discriminating factor to be always burning, I need to have my mind devoid of all these dosh, all these faults of the mind. And he has made his mind like that. So that is why Vivekecha Pada Shakti Vakya Tatparasya Pranigyanam Karanam Ityaha. So Vivek of Pad and Vakya, that is also very, very important. So Sada Sarvada Munibihi, please come on top again. The Bhashya, Sada Sarvada Doshe Sarvada Munibihi, Mananashilaihi, Viveki Bihi, those who are discriminating, Viveki Bihi, discriminating with the Satya and the Asatya, Yadrishyam Tat Mithya, continuously finds new logics to prove the world is false. Continuously, he's seeing the world as false. Viveki bhi Veda Paragahi, and he is Vedanta Parag also. He knows the Vedanta Tattva Jnani bhi Nirvikalpaha. He who knows the meaning of the Vedas also, and he knows the self also. And what he knows the Vedas, he knows the Shastra also. And he knows what Nirvikalpaha Sarva Vikalpa Shunya Ayam Atma Drishta. He is continuously seeing this Atma only. How is it seeing that Atma? That Atma is seeing without any karta, bhokta, sukhi, dukhi, any attributeless Atma he is seeing without any appearances of those 34 appearances. And that knowledge is uplabdha for him. Uplabdho Vedanta tatpare. That is kar amalakvad. He has that knowledge available for him whenever he needs that knowledge. At present, our knowledge is not available for us. It goes away. It will go away. It will disappear. The moment I need it, it is not there. As if we are shraped. We are shraped by our own selves. Because continuously we think about the wrong. The wrong only will bless us. I will be always there for you. The right will curse us. That okay, you're not thinking about me, then I'll go away from you. So this is from here. We will see it tomorrow. If I'll let you know if I'll have class tomorrow because I'm leaving for Bokaro for 8 days. I'll be back on 28th. Okay, so I will tell you if we will have class tomorrow morning. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.